Hey everybody, you're probably wondering, Tristan, you are wearing the exact same eye makeup as your last video. That's because I'm making another video today. Because one of my subscribers, Happy Your, sorry if I slaughtered your screen name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean no disrespect. But they requested a rush delivery of a review for a product. I hope it's the right product. I hope. But because I mentioned in my last video that I was gonna do reviews on some of the things that I was showing in that haul. I am so tongue tied. Anyway, so that being said, you can see my title above that I'm doing this review on the Sephora number 44 Platinum Professional Duo Fiber Stippling Brush. Dun dun dun! And it's a duo fiber stippling brush. It is made out of both synthetic talcon fibers and goat hair. So if you are a vegan or you just are against using stuff with animal hair in it, this product is probably not for you. I think there are some stippling brushes that are completely synthetic. I'm not sure, but I just know this one does use animal hair. And with that being said, the purpose of a stippling brush is to give you a fuller coverage, give you more control over how much coverage you want with your product using less product. And that's a good benefit of it. You can use this wet or dry with creams, powders, liquids. You can use this with anything you choose. You can use this with blushes, not just foundation. You can use this with blushes as well. And brain fart. But in comparison to a paddle brush or just the other foundation brushes that are, with the rounded shape, where you just pat it on or you just stroke it on your face. With this, hypothetically, let's say we're going to use a liquid foundation. We put a little bit of liquid foundation on the back of our hand or in a petri dish, only enough to fill maybe the beginning of the white. You don't want to put it on the black because the black is not meant in any way, shape, or form to distribute the makeup. It's just there to build the shape of the brush. You tap it on there, and then you dab it on your face just enough to make little dewy drops on the top, and you tap it on your face where you want it to go, and then you buff it in all over your face until you get the coverage you want. And you have full control over this. If you want a fuller coverage, you just put more on until you get the coverage you want. If you want a lighter coverage, you just put a little bit on, and you just go from there. And it's completely buildable, and you have a lot better control over this versus a foundation brush. And you can use this with powders to give an airbrush finish with blushes and stuff. I will tell you, I will hands down use a duo fiber brush, this brush, over whatever foundation brush, like just whatever regular foundation brush. And not saying I would use this over a 187 because I haven't tried that either, but I'm just saying a duo fiber brush in general. This is about $35. You can get this at Sephora.com and Sephora stores all over. And overall, it's a good brush. Like, it gives me the greatest coverage ever. It gives me control, and I use a lot less product because primarily I use this with liquid foundation, so I haven't really been using this brush a lot lately because it's warmer. Now that I'm using a tinted moisturizer, I have used it with this, and it's worked pretty good with it. Well, with liquid foundation specifically, because I use a kabuki brush for my powder foundation. But I use this with blush sometimes, like I said. I used to use a sponge with my liquid foundation, and with the sponges, they absorb a lot of the liquid, so I found myself running out of the foundation faster. But with this, I don't run out of foundation as quickly, and it gives me such a big coverage, like a full coverage, because I like medium to full coverage, but more on the full side when it comes to my foundation, especially in the winter time. I just like everything to be completely covered up. And so, what was I saying? And so, yeah, this just really covers me up. There are cheaper duo fiber brushes around. I know Sigma has a brush just like this, and it's an exact dupe to the MAC 187. I do believe it's about $15. I know it's less than $20 on Sigma.com. I haven't tried it yet. I do intend on buying a brush set from them in the near future, just not right now, because I'm a little low on funds because I spend too much money. But also another note is you really have to make sure to adequately get the best effect from this brush to keep it clean, because the more, especially with liquids, primarily with liquids, but all around, just you got to keep it clean all around. Primarily with liquids, because the more liquids you use, like the more times you use it, it causes the Talcon bristles to stick together and to bond. So the more they bond together, the more bristles you have bonded together, the bigger the pixels are that are made on your face when you dab it. So the finish just gets compromised when you have like the bristles stuck together. So the smaller and the more refined the pixels are when you keep it clean. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but I have to clean it, but it gets a lot worse than this. But there's a few in the center that are a little stuck together, but it's not enough to really compromise the effect that the brush gives. But you really gotta make sure you keep it clean. And when you clean it, just make sure you don't really get like the goat, like get it all up in the goat hair. Just make sure you focus on the white bristles, especially when you're applying the product, whatever product you use, primarily, especially a liquid. Don't soak it all the way up into the black bristles. Just only concentrate on the white. And at most, you should only let the product, when you dab it into your product, touch the where the black and the white meet. I mean, obviously, because when you swirl it, it's gonna travel. But I'm just saying when you apply it in there. But overall, this is my thoughts on the brush. It's great. It's $35 at Sephora, and for liquid foundations, I highly recommend this. I don't have anything against paddle brushes. I think paddle brushes are good for like a light to sheer coverage. But if you want better control, I highly recommend this. And if you want an airbrush finish, get this brush. And it doesn't have to be this brush particularly. Like I said, MAC has brushes, Sigma, there are plenty of other brushes out there that are like this, but this particularly is good. So I hope I helped you out, and I hope this was somewhat helpful and good, and I hope I explained everything to the best of my abilities. So I wish everybody the best, and this is it. So, peace.